Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to fall asleep for just one night and awaken hundreds of years later? Imagine opening your eyes, only to find that the world you knew no longer exists. The people are gone. The streets have changed, and time itself has passed you by. This is not a fantasy. This is not fiction. This is the miraculous story of the 7 sleepers of the cave, a story whispered through centuries, preserved forever in the Holy Quran, a story of faith, courage, sacrifice, and a divine miracle that bent the very laws of time. Long ago, in an empire lost to history, there was a city built upon wealth and pride. Towering walls embraced its people. Markets overflowed with spices and silk. Gold glimmered beneath the radiant sun, but beneath the shine lay shadows of darkness. Its people bowed before carved idols, stone figures adorned with jewels and gold. They worshipped statues, begged favors from silent gods, and forgot the one who created the heavens and the earth. At the heart of this empire ruled a tyrant king, a man whose pride had no limit, whose cruelty had no boundaries. His throne was carved from black marble, his palace veined with gold. But his power rested on fear. He demanded obedience, not only to his rule, but to the idols he claimed as divine. "Bow before my gods," he would declare, "for they are the givers of life and the takers of death." And so people bowed, not out of love, but out of terror. Yet among these millions, 7 young men dared to believe differently. They were sons of merchants, soldiers, and scholars, young, vibrant, full of life. But their hearts belonged to one truth. There is no God but Allah. By day, they blended into the crowds, silent, careful, cautious. By night, they prayed in secret, whispering his name beneath a blanket of stars. Faith burned within them like an unquenchable flame. But in a city drowning in idolatry, flames cannot stay hidden for long. One day, their secret was discovered. Summoned before the king, they stood in his grand court. The throne hall was vast and cold, lined with golden statues, burning incense, and hundreds of watchful eyes. The king sat high above, his crown heavy with pride. "Is it true?" he thundered. "I hear you deny my gods. I hear but you worship one unseen." The 7 stood together. Their hearts raced. Their breaths trembled. They knew the cost of defiance. But faith makes the weak unshakable. One of them stepped forward. His voice quivered, yet his words were firm. "Our Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. We worship none but him." Gasps rippled through the court. The king's face darkened like a storm cloud. "You dare defy me?" he roared. "You reject the gods of your fathers. You have until dawn. Bow before my idols or face death." That night, under the silver light of the moon, the 7 young men met in secret. The streets were quiet, but their hearts pounded like drums of war. "If we stay," one whispered, "we will be forced to bow before stone. If we leave," another replied softly, "we may never see our families again." A silence fell, and then one voice rose, calm and steady. "Better to lose the world than lose our souls." Before sunrise, they slipped through the city gates. The cold winds of dawn brushed their faces as they fled into the wilderness. Behind them, their city slept, unaware that destiny was unfolding. Hours passed. The sun climbed high, and then, in the distance, they saw it, a mountain range, vast and silent, its peaks shrouded in mist, and hidden among its folds a cave, dark, quiet, waiting. It felt as though it had been placed there for them alone. Inside, the air was cool and still. They sat upon the stone floor, weary and afraid. The youngest among them raised his hands and prayed softly. "O Lord, guide us. Protect us from the cruelty of our people. Show us mercy, and lead us to what is right." And then they rested, not knowing that this cave would become their sanctuary, not knowing that Allah had chosen them for a miracle, unlike anything the world had seen. As they lay upon the stone, exhaustion pulling them into sleep, something extraordinary began to unfold. Their breath slowed, their bodies stilled, and time itself bent around them. Outside, years passed like seconds. Decades melted into centuries. Empires rose, flourished, and fell to dust. Kings were crowned and buried beneath forgotten stones. Generations came and vanished like shadows at sunset. But deep within the cave, the 7 slept, untouched by age, Protected by divine command, Allah turned their bodies from side to side, preserving them as time slipped silently past. 300 years passed. 300 years, yet for them, it was but a single night. Then one morning, sunlight crept gently into the cave. A warm ray touched the young man's face. His eyes fluttered open. He stretched his arms, yawned softly, and looked around. The others stirred awake, rubbing their eyes. "To think we slept so deeply," one whispered. "Come," another said. "The city will be searching for us. We must eat." One of them volunteered to fetch food. He carried a small pouch of silver coins, the same coins from the night they fled. But when he entered the city, nothing looked the same. The streets twisted in unfamiliar paths. Buildings stood where open fields once lay. The people spoke a strange dialect. Their clothes were unlike anything he had ever seen. Confused, he approached a baker. "How much for this bread?" he asked, handing over a silver coin. The baker froze. He stared at the coin, his breath catching. It was ancient currency, a relic from a forgotten age. "Where did you get this?" the baker demanded. Crowds gathered. Whispers spread. Who were these strangers, dressed in garments from centuries past, carrying silver older than the city itself? Soon, scholars arrived, leaders gathered, and the truth was revealed. The 7 sleepers had awakened, living miracles, walking proof of Allah's power, a sign that when He wills, time itself bows to His command. The Quran speaks of them in Surah Al-Kahf. Their story stands as a reminder for every generation, a reminder that faith can outlast fear, that patience can transcend centuries, and that life after death is not a dream but reality. For if Allah can awaken His servants after 300 years, surely He can awaken all of humanity on the day of judgment. The 7 returned to their cave, hearts overflowing with gratitude, and there they rested once more. Their story lives on, a journey beyond time, reminder that this world is fleeting, that faith makes the ordinary eternal, and that those who trust Allah completely will find miracles where hope seems lost.